Now, time for the debate. First up, we got a guy who has never actually eaten mac and cheese, Luke Macaroni. Next up, a man who spent his life watching Vine compilations and started a petition to get the app back and running. We got Michael Meme, and we have Ryan Lemay too. Let's get going.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, Ryan. 4 players had more than 8 shots on net Friday night. Lenka Serdar, Maddie Mills, Jamie Bourbonnais, and Kristen O'Neill. Who impressed the most?
In my opinion, Kristen O'Neill was the most impressive player.
Not only did she have a goal, but she also had 2 assists. And what stood out to me was that the goal she scored was scored 14 seconds into the game, and that really set the tone for the rest of the game. So I'd have to say Kristen O'Neill.
I disagree with you there. I'd have to go with Maddie Mills. She didn't end up scoring, but she got 2 assists, put pressure on the goalie all game. So the team with 6 shots. She even got a shot every period. She may have not had the finishing blow in all these sequences, but she definitely was a key contributor in setting up those sequences.
Yeah, I'm going to have to disagree with both you guys. I think Lenka Serdar was the player of the night. She finished with a goal and assist and an overall +2. She also went 9 of 14 from faceoffs and added a block shot. So she was all over the place. It's not all about scoring and assist. So she was just someone who contributed all over the place for the Big Red.
I think you guys are underestimating how important Kristen O'Neill is to this team. She now has 20 goals in the season, and with the 3 points she had Friday night, she now has 99 points in her collegiate career. So O'Neill means so much to this Cornell team.
It's about one game. It's not about the whole season.
Yeah, I mean, it adds up. That's all I got to say about that.
We're talking about just the RPI game, like Michael just said. It's not about the entire season. Lenka Serdar has been someone who's been underrated all season, and she's someone who put on a really, really good performance the other night.
So then going into next weekend, the Cornell women will take on RPI in the best-of-3 series in the ECAC quarterfinals. Who's going to prevail?
It's going to be Cornell. They've won 5-0 and 8-2 this season. 8-2 recently just this weekend. The only way they're going to really have problems if they lollygag through the game because they're too overconfident. And if that, they could have trouble with that. But I think, they are very disciplined. So I think, they'll put them away early, give them no chance to come back, and just, diminish any confidence that RPI has.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you, Michael. They've outscored RPI 13-2 in the 2 matchups, and they outshot them 89-28. Those are just dominating numbers. And like you said, as long as they don't come out lackadaisical and they come out ready to play in line of rank, I think they'll advance to the second round pretty easily.
Yeah, I think this is a foregone conclusion. I'd be surprised if Cornell actually even drops a game to RPI. Cornell has been so dominant. Cornell averages over 3.5 goals per game, while RPI struggled, only scoring about 1.5 goals per game. So I expect the Maddie Mills, Kristen O'Neill offense is below RPI out of the water, in my opinion.
Okay, guys, this is a debate. You're not supposed to all agree with each other. I mean, you're right.
I think it's an obvious answer.
I think Cornell's going to win,
yeah.
but you're supposed to disagree a little bit. Looking ahead, the men have 2 games left on the season. Who should Cornell realistically want to face in the first round of the playoffs?
I think you have to look at Colgate. It's a team that they beat earlier in the season, and while they did take a loss on the next day, that was the game where they lost in overtime and they outshot them 43-22. Colgate is also 10-19-3 on the year. That's not a good overall record, so I just don't think this Colgate team is very good, and I think that's a team that Cornell would like to see.
This may be an unpopular opinion, but I actually think that Cornell wants to see Princeton in the first round of the ECAC. I mean, looking back to last year, they lost to Princeton in the heartbreaking ECAC semifinal matchup 4-1. And now looking at this season, Cornell beat them 5-1 and 3-2. So I really like their chances against the Tigers. And there's no sweeter feeling than revenge. So it'll be a great matchup for Cornell.
Guys, the obvious choice here is Union. Cornell beat them in both games this season. And of the teams that Cornell has beaten twice, they're the only one where it's been by at least 2 goals. So I think, Union, it's never been a problem for Cornell, so I think Union's going to be the easiest opponent.
Captain Mitch Vanderland disagrees with all of you. He wants to face RPI and get some revenge after that overtime loss Friday night. Good debate, guys.